Hi, RPod Nation. Alan Lefebvre here with another installment about what we have found on the 2027 RPod 171. This is a brand new model. We picked it up about a week ago in Ohio, Trenton, Ohio. And we've logged about 1,500 miles with it now over a week's period. And there's some things we've discovered about it. One of the first things that we came across was this motion sensor light. You see it right here, it came on. And this kind of stays on all night for some reason. It goes on and off, but it goes on and off on its own. And we haven't found a way to turn it off completely. We don't seem to know where a switch is for it. And there's another one in the back side over there. We can report that the freezer and the refrigerator were excellent. They kept things cold. Things stayed frozen even while we were driving, and it was running off of car battery, and no complaints about the refrigerator. Once you've turned on the water heater, you actually have to turn on the water heater controller in order to actually get hot water to come out of the faucets. We landed somewhere in Dallas for a while coming back from our trip and let the battery exhaust itself because we had parked the trailer and we needed the truck to move around, and there wasn't any place to hook up the trailer. We weren't going to use the trailer for a couple days, so but we wanted the refrigerator to stay relatively cold. And what we found out is we got roughly about 20 hours of usable time out of the single charge battery. That's how much time we got out of it before the light started flickering and the refrigerator went warm. So of course we could have turned off the disconnect and we would have saved the battery. But again, we wanted to keep the refrigerator cold, and we wanted to see if the solar panel was going to keep the battery charged while very little was being used inside the trailer. But the solar power could not keep up with the usage, which pretty much was only the refrigerator. And of course then the power jack was not very responsive. In fact, it was dead. But once we hooked it up to the truck, we got functionality out of that once again. So I pulled this bad boy with a Jeep Gladiator Mojave trim. That's rated at 6,000 pounds of towing capability. And of course, the 171 model is under 2,600 pounds, depending on how much you load it. And we went empty tanks a lot of the way back. We only managed 10.5 miles per gallon. Not great. I was hoping for a little better. It's one of the reasons why I chose the 171 over the 180 model. Was hoping that extra lighter weight would get me a little bit better mileage. Okay, so things we liked about the trailer are quite a few. As mentioned, we like the freezer refrigerator. We like the big sink. We like the fairly fast hot water. We like the little sprinkler. This comes out sprinkling here if you set it over here. Stove works very well. The microwave worked well. We're not always so crazy about how these blinds come down. For instance, this blind you would think would stop right there and it would stay there, but no, it goes right back up. In our case, we've had to go even further down than that to get it to hold. We had to put it down like that far. I believe that there is an adjustment. See, now it's stuck down there. And now I'm going to have to mess with that later. Another thing we're not completely crazy about is how the air conditioner performs. Yes, it blows good cold air pretty quickly and cools off the cabin pretty nicely, but it all comes straight down. And the controller over here really only has two output levels. So it will output this air at high and low, but really the two are fairly negligible, the difference. It does have a regulated setting, which means that it will power off the air conditioner fan, the blower, when it reaches temperature, and then come back on when the temperature rises. But it basically is the same amount of force. There's no way to divert the air toward the bedroom or toward the dining area. All you can do is shut it completely off or open it a tad, yes, but it's going to make the same loud sound no matter if that's open or closed. Okay, returning back to this window shade, I had to take it apart in order to fix it. And there are two tabs, one under here, one over on that side. They're hard to reach when it's all rolled up, and you push down on it and it releases the bracket, and it was a booger to get out of there. It may be just one of the cheapest of the window shades they could possibly put into this thing. There's no real adjustments like most roller shades on the side where there's a crank to set the length and the speed. You have to take this thing apart and manually put more tension back in it and make a setting change. Okay, what's different than before? Well, the mattress is gone. Why is the mattress gone? Because the mattress is terrible. It is like a 5-inch mattress, and it just did not feel comfortable. The dealership even told us that it is not a good mattress, and so we have ordered ourselves an upgrade. That's about it for this episode. Stay tuned for further discoveries on the RPod 171.